Carbohydrates are essential nutrients. They are one of the 3 macronutrients, alongside fats and proteins. Our bodies need macronutrients in larger amounts. Carbohydrates are our primary energy source. They fuel our daily activities and bodily functions. Carbohydrates are made up of sugar molecules. These molecules consist of carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen atoms. We obtain carbohydrates primarily through plant-based foods. Fruits, vegetables, and grains are excellent sources. Carbohydrates are broken down into glucose. Glucose is a simple sugar. It is the primary energy source for our cells. When we consume carbohydrates, our bodies convert them into glucose. This glucose is then used immediately for energy. It can also be stored in the liver and muscles as glycogen. Glycogen acts as a reserve. Our bodies can draw upon it when needed. This ensures a consistent energy supply. Not all carbohydrates are created equal. They are broadly categorized into 2 types, simple and complex. This classification is based on their chemical structure and how quickly they are digested and absorbed. Simple carbohydrates are made up of short chains of sugar molecules. They are found in processed foods, sugary drinks, and some fruits. Simple carbohydrates are digested quickly. This leads to rapid spikes in blood sugar levels. Examples include glucose, fructose, and sucrose. Complex carbohydrates, on the other hand, are composed of long chains of sugar molecules. They are found in whole grains, legumes, and starchy vegetables. Complex carbohydrates take longer to digest. This results in a slower and more sustained release of energy. Fiber is a type of complex carbohydrate that our bodies cannot digest. Fiber is essential for digestive health. It adds bulk to our stools, promoting regularity. Fiber also helps regulate blood sugar levels and lowers cholesterol. Examples of complex carbohydrates include starch and fiber. The journey of carbohydrates begins in our mouths. As we chew our food, enzymes in our saliva start breaking down starches into simpler sugars. The process continues in the stomach, where acids further break down the food. The majority of carbohydrate digestion occurs in the small intestine. Here, enzymes secreted by the pancreas break down complex carbohydrates into glucose. Glucose is then absorbed into the bloodstream through the lining of the small intestine. Once in the bloodstream, glucose travels to various cells throughout the body. Insulin, a hormone produced by the pancreas, helps cells absorb glucose from the blood. Cells use glucose for energy to carry out their functions. Carbohydrates are essential for our bodies to function properly. They provide us with energy, support brain function, and contribute to overall health. Glucose, the simplest form of carbohydrate, is the primary fuel source for our brain. The brain requires a constant supply of glucose to function optimally. Carbohydrates also play a crucial role in physical activity. They provide the energy our muscles need to contract and perform. Adequate carbohydrate intake is essential for athletes and individuals engaged in regular exercise. Furthermore, carbohydrates are involved in various metabolic processes. They help regulate hormones and support a healthy gut microbiome. Section 5. The 2 sides of carbohydrates, potential adverse effects. While carbohydrates are essential, excessive consumption, particularly of refined carbohydrates and sugary drinks, can have adverse effects on our health. Consuming large amounts of refined carbohydrates can lead to rapid spikes in blood sugar levels. Over time, this can contribute to insulin resistance, a condition in which cells become less responsive to insulin. Insulin resistance can lead to type 2 diabetes, a chronic condition characterized by high blood sugar levels. Excess carbohydrate intake can also contribute to weight gain. When we consume more carbohydrates than our bodies need for energy, the excess is converted into fat and stored. This can lead to an increase in body fat, particularly abdominal fat, which is associated with an increased risk of heart disease and other health problems. Section 6. Carbohydrates in our diet. Finding the right balance. Incorporating healthy carbohydrates into our diet is essential for optimal health. The key is to choose complex carbohydrates over simple carbohydrates. Complex carbohydrates provide sustained energy, fiber, and essential nutrients. Focus on consuming whole grains, legumes, fruits, and vegetables. Whole grains, such as brown rice, quinoa, and oats, are excellent sources of fiber, vitamins, and minerals. Legumes, including beans, lentils, and chickpeas, are also rich in fiber and protein. Fruits and vegetables are packed with vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants. Choose a variety of colorful fruits and vegetables to ensure a wide range of nutrients. Limit your intake of refined carbohydrates, such as white bread, pasta, and sugary drinks. Section 7. Low-carb versus high-carb navigating dietary choices. Low-carbohydrate diets have gained popularity in recent years. These diets typically restrict carbohydrate intake to less than 130 grams per day. Proponents of low-carb diets claim that they promote weight loss, improve blood sugar control, and reduce the risk of chronic diseases. While low-carb diets can be effective for weight loss in the short term, their long-term sustainability and overall health benefits are still debated. High-carbohydrate diets, on the other hand, emphasize the consumption of carbohydrates as the primary source of energy. These diets are often favored by athletes and individuals with high energy demands. The optimal carbohydrate intake varies depending on individual factors such as age, sex, activity level, and health status. Section 8. The bottom line: making informed decisions about carbohydrates. Carbohydrates are an essential macronutrient that plays a vital role in our health and well-being. They provide us with energy, support brain function, and contribute to overall health. However, excessive consumption, particularly of refined carbohydrates and sugary drinks, can have adverse effects. The key to incorporating carbohydrates into our diet is to choose complex carbohydrates over simple carbohydrates. Focus on consuming whole grains, legumes, fruits, and vegetables. Limit your intake of refined carbohydrates, such as white bread, pasta, and sugary drinks. The optimal carbohydrate intake varies depending on individual factors. It is essential to consult with a healthcare professional or registered dietitian to determine the appropriate carbohydrate intake for your specific needs. By making informed decisions about carbohydrate consumption, we can optimize our health and well-being.